Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying with Jim Misiura. Today I'm going to tie a holy grail. This fly represents a caddis pupa, and the hook that I have in the vise, this is a Lively Legs lip splitter. This is number 470, size 12. It is a Scud shrimp nip hook, one extra strong, one extra short, and this is a bronze, and it has a small barb on it. I have a 2.5 millimeter silver bead on there. A lot of them I've seen tied with a gold bead, but I just feel that a silver bead is more like an air bubble than a gold bead. I'm just going to use some black thread and, like always, my 16-aught. I'm going to start the thread about an eye length from the eye of the hook. So when we tie this in, our bead is actually going to be an eye length from the eye. Look at that thing bouncing. I'm going to go ahead and bring my thread down around the bend slightly. I'm going to give it that curved caddis pupa kind of look to it. Come around the bend there just a little bit more. Now I'm going to put a rib in. And for my rib, I'm going to use just pearl crystal flash. I'm going to take 2 pieces of it, and I'm going to go ahead and tie this in. I'm going to actually leave this, leave a tag a little bit long on it. I'm going to quickly wrap that up towards the top here. There we go. Now I'm going to use that the crystal flash to help me hold the bead in place. We want that bead to be 1 eye length from the eye of the hook. We're going to get that there. I'm going to take my thread and move it to the front. Then I'm going to fold that crystal flash over and tie that there, and that's going to help to hold it in place. I could go ahead and fold that back again, bring my thread to the back side of the bead. There we go. And now I could go ahead and trim off that little bit of excess. Gonna bring my thread quickly back to the back. No sense in getting touching turns once again. Bring that right to the back. Keep that crystal flash. There we go. I'm going to turn this over so I can dub properly. I'm going to use a bit of an olive brown, or more of an olive. I'm going to use an olive. This is kind of a yellowish olive. It's just plain olive. It's marked, and this is a rabbit dub. It's not a hare's ear, but it's a rabbit blend. And you don't have to make this really skinny, because caddis larvae and pupa, they're little fat little buggers. You don't want it super fat though. Go ahead, put the rest of that on there. Now we can go ahead and wrap this, come back, and then wrap forward. And you make yourself a pudgy little body there. Bring that right up. Now I'm going to take my Krystal flash and I'm going to wrap that. I'm going to rib it. It's a good idea to kind of twist them together so you don't get two there. I just had to turn it so I can see the point of the hook. I'm going to wrap that right in, and we're going to stop that there. This lighter color is, I would say, is more for the summer. If you want a Holy Grail granum, you want a dark color on it. Go ahead and trim away that little bit of excess. Now I'm actually going to put a little bit of a Wingcase on there because that's the way they're making them. So I'm going to take a piece of turkey tail. Doesn't have to be anything special because you're not going to see, you don't need any moltings on it. You're not going to see the molted, the fish aren't going to see the molted little wings there. But I'm going to take this tip. Let me get those lined up better. There we go. So I have a piece, I don't know, maybe little skinnier than 1/4 of an inch. Actually going to take it, I'm going to leave some of that tip sticking off the front. You could actually use pheasant tail for this too. I'm going to leave a little bit of that sticking off the front. And this is the little modification I'm doing on this Holy Grail. I'm going to tie that in and leave that there. When I get it folded over, I'm going to bring them down like the wings towards the bottom. Okay, that's a little bit long. I'm going to pull those a little bit shorter. There we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a darker color. Maybe take something like, just Beaver will work. It gets darker when it gets wet. Just for that top section being on, midge or caddis larva, their legs and things, or their head and legs are a dark color. Just gonna go ahead and put a few wraps of this in here. We're going to end that beaver right there at the bead. Now I'm going to take those wings, I'm going to divide them, I'm going to pull them right to the bottom. Just like a caddis pupa, their wings come out the bottom when they're hatching. Now I could go ahead and take this and fold this over. Whoop. Bring my thread to the front of the bead and then fold this case over. Tie that in. Wrap that really close once again. Go ahead and trim that off. Now I'm going to take my partridge skin and I'm going to pull out a partridge feather for my hackle. And we want a nice speckled one. Now I'm going to remove all of that fluff. Be careful because these do get they do become quite brittle. So, got that. Here's the other side. Going to go ahead and trim off that fluff side. Now I'm going to take because these are so brittle, I'm going to take my hackle pliers. Just grab that tip and then pull everything back. You want your partridge feather to be just about the length of the body. If it's a little longer, it's not a big deal. Fish aren't going to refuse it because of it. Now we're going to tie this in by the tip. Clean that up there a little bit. And get that removed there. Now I'm going to take my hackle pliers, and we're only going to give this a couple of turns. Now be careful because of how brittle the stem is, but once you get it wrapped on there, you can take them and fold them back a little bit. Once you get that feather wrapped on there, it's going to be very strong. There we go. We got about 2 wraps on there. Bring that hackle stem up. There we go. Get it to that nice position. And keep the tension on it. If you took your hackle pliers off with that first wrap, there we go. Now we can get rid of that stem. You just get that in there with the tip of your hackle pliers. And we're going to form that head. And clean that head up there a little bit. I'm going to take my whip finish. Try not to trap those hackles. Yeah, 1 or 2 of them sticking forward. There we go. Push them back. Use the poke and snip on the thread. Put some head cement on there. Get everything out of the way of the head cement first here. And I could see those wings. You can see that wing in there and right in that back there. But that wing is just something I just threw on right now. It's not really needed. And frankly, I don't think the wing case is that important either. Going to get that pretty good. And get that head cement right onto the base of that partridge also. And here we have a holy grail. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Please visit my sponsors and let them know I sent you. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. If you'd like to purchase any flies from me, go to etsy.com/shop/theflymanjim. And if you don't see it, just send me a message and we'll figure it out what you want. And thank you very much for watching my videos.